Well, alrighty, 3:40. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. It's digital host A.J. Wuest here, welcoming you back to Before the Four, the live stream where I go through some of 48's top news stories and then some before our 4 o'clock newscast. I say it every day wherever you're watching Before the Four this afternoon, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or the 48 Now live stream. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending just a bit of your afternoon here. Now first, we got to talk about it. Rock the South. The official lineup was released today, and let's just say festival organizers did not shy away from getting some pretty big acts for this year for the festival's very first indicator. The headliners include Jason Aldean, Riley Green, and Zach Top. Other artists, Huntsville native Jesse Murph, Big X The Plug, Tracy Lawrence, Brantley Gilbert, and Travis Tritt, just to name a few. You can see the full lineup right here on your screen. Now this festival is June 11th through the 13th of 2026. It's hard to believe it's already 2026 next year. It feels like it just turned 2020, honestly. It feels like we haven't gone through very much time since the year 2020, but next year, 2026, Rock the South. Very exciting stuff, without a doubt. I'm definitely going to have to get my tickets to this early with a festival like that. But now, let's talk about the weather. I hear it raining outside right now, and it was sprinkling a little bit on my commute to work this afternoon. But let's turn over to 48 First Alert Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis for a look at the latest forecast. Brad?
Oh, we're tracking some very heavy rain. We have 3 bands of this rain coming through. No lightning here, at least so far. There's still a potential for that, but overall, the biggest chance is heavy rainfall. A lot of low clouds here just because there's so much water in the air. Some areas are going to pick up at least a half-inch of rain in less than a half hour. Live look at Decatur, it's 74 degrees. Heavy rainfall has moved through the area. This will impact the evening commute, too. Temperatures are still in the low 80s, except where we have the heavy rain. It's in the mid-70s. The 60s just off to the northwest in the Midwest U.S. And those will start coming down tomorrow as we see the front coming through Wednesday afternoon. Just a stray shower or two the next few days. Thursday, Friday look amazing with highs in the mid-70s. Overnight lows low to mid-50s. Looking good, but warming up as we enter the weekend. We'll talk more about that at 4, 5, 6, and then again tonight at 10.
And you all know the drill. 48 First Alert Weather Extra. That is tonight at 9:30. Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis will be back here in the streaming center wherever you're watching Before the Four right now, and he'll have all the latest that he's seeing on the radar. Feel free to leave any comments, some questions, thoughts, concerns. Brad will shout you out, and he'll work to answer those questions for you. But now, heading out to Huntsville, where the housing director looks to turn things around after 4 shootings have taken place in the past 5 months in one community. 48's Nick Ballinger spoke with him and has more.
Huntsville Housing Authority's L.R. Patton community has been plagued with violence, 4 shootings in 5 months alone. The most recent didn't involve any residents. HHA implemented a curfew, but Executive Director Antonio McGinnis says he's considered banning non-residents from the property.
If you're allowing people to come in who are doing bad things, then you got to be held accountable. And I think once we get control of that, it will help eliminate the negative influence that we've been having.
I sat down with McGinnis, a product of Huntsville Public Housing himself. He says a main contributor to the violence is a lack of community.
Back in the day, it was really families took care of each other, you know, moms and fathers who were in the community. They took care of everybody's children, and so we got to get back to that. It's taken too long. I think people have bought into the system where they've settled.
HHA is one of Huntsville's biggest landlords with around 1,400 housing units and over 1,900 families in the Section 8 program. Nearly 700 families remain on the waiting list.
One of the biggest misconceptions is that people want to be there and they don't want to do anything.
McGinnis says the average income for residents is $15,000, right at the poverty line.
it shows me that our residents are working. Most of our residents want to work, but they want to work in respectable jobs as well.
Monthly job fairs and programs are set up by HHA to help end generational poverty. The self-sufficiency program has around 200 participants and helps residents save money to eventually move out.
I want to take that to another step and help families not only be housed, but help them find a way to make it out.
Hey, now we're going to head to break, but coming up, speaking with a pharmacist in Guntersville after the CDC announced it's no longer recommending the COVID vaccine for all patients. The high school football plays of the week candidates, it's the last day to vote, and a story you're just not going to want to miss. It's all ahead. We'll go through it all in 1 minute. All right, break time over. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Before the Four. Now, yesterday, we learned that the CDC is no longer recommending the COVID vaccine for all patients. So yesterday, Will Eldridge spoke with a pharmacist in Guntersville about what this means. Let's take a listen.
Right. Pharmacists here at Bunch Pharmacy tell me that although he does not think that having the shot available will be a problem, he does think insurance companies could stop covering the shot because of this decision. The CDC announced today it will no longer recommend the COVID-19 vaccine to everyone. Before this change, the vaccine was widely recommended, meaning anyone could walk into a pharmacy and request a shot. With this change, officials say people under the age of 65 and without underlying conditions would likely have to have a doctor recommend the shot to them personally before they can get one. Buddy Bunch, a pharmacist here in Guntersville, tells me you may start to see some insurance companies no longer covering the vaccine the same way.
Insurances sometimes they don't agree with patients, pharmacists, or doctors. So that can be an uphill battle sometimes.
Bunch recommends an easy way to find out if this is the case. He recommends that patients go to a pharmacy to run their claim to see if their insurance covers it. Reporting in Guntersville, Will Eldridge, 48, on your side.
Will Eldridge right there reporting in Guntersville. But now let's look at the candidates for high school football plays of the week. And we're going to be doing something fancy today. Let's look at this. We have our website right here pulled up, the 48 Blitz Play of the Week. This is, of course, WAFF.com. It's under the sports section, and then it is this web story that is posted right here. Let's look at the candidates. So the first candidate we have is the Sparkman quarterback. And let's see this play. Let's start this from the beginning right here. Look at that. Hits him right there in the slant. He takes it to the house. That is the first candidate right there. Sparkman quarterback hits his receiver in a stride for a long touchdown. And let's see the second play of the week candidate. It looks like the Randolph running back, number 6 right there. Ooh, he's still going. He is still going, just shedding tackles across the field right there, and he takes it into the end zone for 6. The Randolph running back right there, that is the second candidate for play of the week. And then finally, we have the Madison Academy quarterback. If you all remember, Madison Academy won the game against North Jackson in Class 4A. It was a nail-biter, a close finish there. Let's see this play right here. The Madison Academy quarterback runs to the outside. What a throw. Catch, and it is not a touchdown, but wow, what a throw right there. And that is your third candidate for play of the week. Now, of course, as you all know, this is the last day to vote. Last day to vote for play of the week, as we will announce the winner in tomorrow's evening newscast. And if you are unsure of how to vote, all you have to do is go to this web story. You'll click here, and then you can vote for your favorite play of the week. It will take you right to that landing page. But some pretty good candidates for this week. Today's the last day to vote, so make sure to get those votes in. But now let's hop into the good side. Frogs are jumping everywhere, and in one Louisiana city, they're in front of stores, the police station, and even the firehouse. Local News Live's Dave McNamara takes us to the city promoting itself as the frog capital of the world. Let's take a look.
It seems that everywhere you look in the Cajun town of Rayne, you see frogs. They're on the sidewalks, in front of stores, the police station and firehouse, and the courthouse. And about 24 frog murals are painted on the sides of buildings.
We're quite proud of the fact that we're the frog capital of the world.
Fran Bim with the Chamber of Commerce credits Jacques Weil and his two brothers with starting a frog export business in the late 1800s.
They started a frog shipping company to export frogs back to the restaurants in France to serve as a delicacy in fried frog legs.
The frog export companies are gone, but not the frogs.
That's a big one. Look how fat.
For Lakin Bischoff and her fiancé Jacob Zombreger, this is a perfect date night.
Since I was a little girl, my dad would always bring me.
What's the key to catching a frog?
Can't let it get away. Firm grip.
And Jacob has the perfect partner.
It's quite nice whenever you can sit back and relax and just point the spotlight, knowing that, I mean, you saw her miss one time tonight, and like I said, that's a rare occurrence.
The frogs hang out along the edges of commercial crawfish ponds. Their white throats give them away in the spotlight. And within seconds, the frogs are snatched from the snake-infested water.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
What's a good night of frogging?
Hundreds. When you get in the triple digits, you could say it's definitely a successful night, hands down.
This one's probably the biggest. It's full of crawfish.
And there is one other claim to frog fame. 2 decades before NASA had frogs floating in a space shuttle, 2 bullfrogs from Rayne made a giant leap into orbit in 1970. NASA strapped the frogs inside a tiny capsule to test the effect of weightlessness on their ears, which are very similar to humans. The test was a success, and NASA said goodbye to the Cajun frogs.
Our frogs passed away, so bless them.
Rayne has been celebrating its amphibian history with an annual frog festival, where beauty queens pose with frogs. There are frog races and jumping contests and special food.
I like my frogs fried frog legs.
It's part of a unique history and flavor and has made Rayne the frog capital of the world. With the heart of Louisiana, Dave McNamara, Fox 8 Local First.
And I'd say that story is unfrog-gettable, if I do say so myself. I was just over here looking at some frog puns because I had to get it out there, had to get something that would make you croak, without a doubt. But now let's head into the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscasts. A pastor in Huntsville facing federal charges involving fraud. 48's Faith Delp will have more on that coming up. Another story you're just not going to want to miss. A billboard now stands in the Shoals for August Borden. Of course, the Deschler football player who was severely injured after his parents say it was an assault. 48's Aria Pons will have more on that. And finally, the latest on the mass shooting in Montgomery over the weekend. And these are just a few of the stories you're just not going to want to miss coming up in our evening newscast. And y'all, we do not have a Facebook fun today, did not get around to asking a question on Facebook, but stick around for tomorrow's Before the 4 starting at 3:40, and we'll have a Facebook question, and of course we'll have Facebook fun at the end of tomorrow's show. But y'all, that is just about it for today's Before the 4. Thank you all for sticking around, spending a bit of your Tuesday afternoon here. I hope you all have a great night, enjoy tonight's evening newscast, and as always, thank you so much for watching. You all have a great night.